So, Dustin,
Cheers.
cheers. How are you? How's dinner?
It's really good.
Dustin and I have been having a very, very busy long day in separate venues, and he's just now getting a chance to wolf down some dinner while we're talking.
Is the chewing loud? I wasn't sure.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. So,
really loud in my ear.
oh, okay. Well, then just don't chew, just swallow. So here, let me neutralize my background for our discussion here.
I could do that. There you go.
No, I was just changing my background. So
I've got the sun right in my face. So it's my natural lighting.
Okay. So since we're talking about backgrounds and we're working on Dead Guys Talking, we're going to have some placards that we'll create that will say Dead Guys Talking on them. And who knows what we'll make that look like in a little bit, but we'll get that done. Some of that.
I was thinking.
Go ahead. So go ahead.
Well, just with what you were saying about it being like not like it's a rebirth. I almost thought, I mean, it's so cliche, but I was like, what's rebirth? Like, I think of like a phoenix, or I thought of like two graves with phoenixes rising out of them.
That sounds like a thing, except you have to remember we're in the center of the frame. So whatever we do.
Well, it could be a grave on either side.
Could be.
But should we both have you could be dead guy number one, I could be dead guy number two, or however it works, depending on how we look on the screen. Yeah, we could figure something out. Yeah, go ahead, and then
okay. We'll keep thinking about it. This is one of those things where a little brainstorming, masterminding will be useful. Maybe we'll have time to talk about it a little bit later. This connection. Last time we were connected, I was having a little bit. I had produced 2 shows in my video cast, and for whatever reason, the second show I recorded, I must have edited the first show to put all the placement in there, and then I did not remember where those recordings were, and I also thought I had already pre-connected my intro. So I have 2 pieces for the intro, and I thought I had pre-connected them. So the other day when we were doing it, I said, "Oh, look at this." I thought it was them. Then I said it wasn't, but it was.
Oh,
I just hadn't connected them together. So right. I'm going to just maybe take a minute here to finish up what we're doing last time. Maybe we'll edit stuff so it's more interesting for people who are seeing the journey of what we're doing. But at a certain point, we must have spent 10 minutes looking for me to find those stupid audio tracks. We'll cut that out.
No. I don't think we should cut it out. And I mean, because I thought of this, because we had the Jeopardy music playing. I just thought it would be hilarious to just have that whole section edited into little snippets with the Jeopardy music playing, of you trying to find stuff the whole time, and we can like put something funny up there.
Okay.
But just play around with it, have fun. I mean, I don't want to have to spend all my time editing, but there's going to have to be some I want to learn a little bit.
That's going to get some sort of adjustment, right? Because we don't want everybody just hanging out for 5 or 10 minutes or however period of time was. The funny thing is that I don't have enough shame to be embarrassed. I was just going, can't find it.
Well, whatever, we gotta.
And I finally, after that happened, I go, I want, since I'm pretty well organized in everything I do, like, why was that sound sitting over on the music folder on my desktop when I usually have everything lined up in my production folder? So I made sure that it was now in my production folder. I hope. I hope I did that. So, and I do a lot in a day's time. So, since I found the music and I moved it, hopefully we can be very efficient this time around.
Man, this is we're busy people. I did want to talk to you a little bit about the gear.
Okay.
So the universe keeps providing gear and stuff like that for me. So I had asked my ex if I could borrow, she has a really nice like microphone, and then she couldn't find it, but she had this piece. So
that's the windscreen. Okay.
right. And so,
Or the pop screen, they call it, but
yeah. So I'm going to borrow that for the time being. And then I went to look at the stuff you suggested, and I saw, I didn't quite understand, like with the multi USB port, it had like a screen and it talks about how much like whatever power is coming through it, or that stuff's beyond me. But I was just kind of was like, well, let me just look, and just on that one particular item, let me just go look and see what else there is.
okay.
When I found another USB thing, which I was like, oh, that's really cool. And actually it was the part that plugs into the computer was a C port. You know what that is, right? It's the newest thing.
Okay.
That one. It's the oblong. It's like the newest newest thing. It's like what they're using with the Samsung phones.
Right. It's I think that's a USB-C.
Right. So my brother.
So by the way, for the language we just threw out there, USB is kind of the nomenclature for a universal serial bus. That's the old school stuff. And most of us know the bigger plugs, which are USB-A. And now the smaller ones are still USB, but they're called USB-Cs. It's just a smaller plug.
So I saw there was one that was a USB-C, and it also had like USBs. It had all kinds of different ports on it. I mean, you can even plug in like the cards. So I thought that was kind of cool. But I was like thinking that obviously wouldn't work with this computer that I have, because it wasn't even out when this computer was made. But my brother got a computer just for this job that he's been doing here in California, and he happens to be here right now, and will be leaving in about 2 or 3 weeks. He's been here for a couple of months. And he's just going to give me this, like it's a $500 ASIC computer. He's like, it's nothing special. And I'm like, but it's probably perfect for what I need, because I've been using this Mac writing and all that, and I'm using like their version of Word or whatever it is. And it's, I mean, I'm getting used to it. And I think I would probably I would stay with Mac, but since I'm getting this PC, I thought it's actually, it may be just a crappy computer, but it's up to date, because I can't even download iMovie on this, which I think I told you.
Yes.
It's just so old. In fact, I had a guy kind of try to soup this computer up, and he had to go through some back doors to even do what he did. So he's like, you don't ever actually, you have to update it a very special way. It'll just, I don't know what he did. He's a little computer genius up in Seattle, but nevertheless, I thought, let me wait till I get that computer to get this equipment.
Okay.
Because I don't know. Like, I just thought,
I think we're doing fine now. We're having a conversation.
Yeah.
It's not like
I hate these headphones because but if they sound all right, then great.
You sound all right.
Okay. Yeah. And then also the only other thing, just keep you up to date, is I have now gone through our first discussion and our second discussion and marked all the spots where we mentioned somebody's name. I have not marked spots where we mention someone we may want to put in like links to, like for instance, Lujan or people that have businesses, because I don't think that's an issue to mention those people. But we have to figure that out. And also like I don't know if it's okay just to mention people. Like at some point you mentioned the name, you were talking about that other gentleman, that I don't want to say the name, but the video game gentleman.
Yep.
Okay, but you said his name, and I don't know if that's like, do we put a bleep there or?
That one we're okay because the it's on my video cast channel already, and so I think we're okay with that one.
Yeah, and then I like
So-
in another video I mentioned my 90-year-old friend in Hawaii. I mean, it's just a personal friend. I don't know. Do I have to bleep his name or not? I guess I have to ask these people. Or do I?
Well, maybe if you feel like, let me just put this way, if you feel like you need to ask, then maybe we just go ahead and take their name out and just say it's a friend that's, you know, somebody. So
Not with him. I don't think so. It's just his
Okay.
first name. He lives in Hawaii. Try
okay,
to find him.
I don't think it's an issue.
Okay.
So, you know, how
And
many,
that's it for me.
how many Billy Bobs are in Hawaii after all? So,
There's a lot of Billy Bobs. There is a ridiculous amount of how do I say this?
don't,
Like,
don't.
no, it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying there's a massive country boy culture there.
Okay.
It's
So-
it's ranching on the Big Island.
Mhm.
My niece bought a pickup truck that was so big. She's like, I didn't know it was going to be that big. And then she bought it off of somebody. I'm like, how could you not have? But when you open the door, a thing comes down for you to step on so you can actually get in the truck. It's that high off the ground. And it's like, there's these big, massive trucks there's just the nastiest, most off-road roads there. But those kinds of trucks can't handle that. It'll actually destroy the suspension and all that.
Right.
So
It's like you need an authentic Jeep, or like not.
well, that's
your,
what I had.
Not your Cherokee, right? But your like the CJs or the Renegades or the
Yeah.
know.
I mean, I had the Jeep Wrangler X, whatever,
Right,
the
right.
four-door. And I'd go to the beach or the hot pond or whatever. Like it's like a massive, like it's a hot pond that's water coming from hot springs and the ocean.
Right.
And which was lovingly called by my niece hippie soup, because it would just be a bunch of old hippies hanging out in there, kind of stewing. But where was I going with the hot pond? I'd go down there and I'd have these like young Hawaiian guys trying to sell me weed. And I was like, I just couldn't get it. Why do these guys keep trying to sell me weed? And one day I was like, I live here. I don't, it's like, they're like, oh, and it finally dawned on me is that I had a four-door Jeep Wrangler. That was like the newest thing. That was like what every car rental place was renting out. So they just assumed that I had a rented Jeep Wrangler and was trying to sell the whatever I am.
They were trying to sell the tourist.
The tourists, yeah. I forget what they call us there, but
right.
Anyway.
Okay.
Us white boys.
Well, welcome to the world of tourism.
Can you hear me crunching?
Mildly. It's not a big deal. So it's not.
Right. Well, you're going to show. You take the stage. I'm going to take this out.
I'm just going to do this one thing we didn't do last time a little bit more quickly. And frankly, it's just an example. By the way, I downloaded another movie maker tool just recently because I wanted to be able to reverse a video. I had a little short video I wanted to reverse. Okay. And I was like, I could do it in this platform, but I have to do it frame by frame and I just forget it. I don't want to do that. So I found another thing. You just hit the reverse button and it just does the whole thing for you. So
very cool.
So, there are lots of tools out there. By no means am I arguing that using, I have HD Movie Maker Pro, which is Windows owned or controlled or produced or whatever language you want to put on it. And I am certain that there are way better tools if I wanted to spend several $100s or a few $100s. Mm-hmm. But at the time I was looking for an option to play around with. I got this thing for like $10 or something crazy.
Oh, great.
And it's done the job so far. I will eventually have to, for lots of reasons, I'll have to be looking at other solutions down the road. And frankly, I would much prefer that maybe when it's time for doing this, that there's a virtual assistant or a real assistant that sits someplace that I can just say, hey, can you do this for me? And they're done in 5 minutes. And instead of me putzing around for, half an hour, or whatever to figure out how to do something, like trying to reverse a video.
I'm right there with you.
So I'm just going to go ahead and real quickly do what I was doing before. I'm not even going to save the video right now, only because there may be some other refinements I want to do before I put it up on YouTube. But this is the gist of what it's going to be about. So I'm just going to hit insert music. I'm going to hit the current position, load a local file, and I'm going to grab what I have here, which I'm calling an intro.
Are we supposed to be seeing this?
Oh, am I not sharing my screen?
No.
You know what? That's very funny that I'm so good about that in general. Okay, now can you see my screen?
Yeah, there we go.
So this is HD Movie Maker Pro that I'm playing with. And the other day we kind of left off here where I had the framing with my guest, Marianne Houston. Then I had the hour and a half or so of Marianne and I having the conversation. Then I had the closing placard over here. And then I had the credit for the song, which I got off of Free Music Academy, freemusicarchive.org. And so now I'm going to be adding the soundtrack, which is, I'm going to be adding this real quick. It's like a sort of like an intro tone or a startup tone. And then right after that, I'm going to be adding see, and what's the marker for this? It's 7 seconds. Good. So at the 7-second mark, I'm going to add my intro music, which is just a little bit of an outtake that I took from the full song. So there's only 20 seconds here. And that 20 seconds kind of leaps in by a few seconds into the actual audio piece. If you look at the screen, you can see how it kind of passes the frame line just by a little hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then over here, I know it at 1 hour and 35 and 19 seconds. I want to have the outro music. So I'm going to go over here. Now I'm exactly at 1 hour 34:54. That's probably, yeah. So 1 hour 35:20 is where the frame change takes place. So I want to see if I can go back one hop. 135:19, 135:54. That's going to be about 20 seconds. I'm going to see what happens when I insert it there, and then we'll just do a test play.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm going to put the outro music there. I may just have to do it exactly on frame because 20 seconds may be a long time. In fact, I'm certain of it. 20 seconds is just too much. Let me cancel this. Let's just go back and put it right on top of the frame.
Okay.
So at 135:19, I will have the outro music play. If I had maybe a little bit of an audio ramp up where it started mildly and worked my way up, I would have it start to play as the show was ending. But I'm just going to go ahead and put this in. Okay. Okay, and it pretty much lines up with the frames that I have there. So
yeah, that's great.
So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back and I'm going to play this and see what happens. So I'll hit the first frame and just go, it says 23 seconds. Is that right? We'll see what happens. Hello, I am Brian Baird, and this
Perfect.
not too bad, right? So let's take
That's
it to the end,
perfect.
and let's see what happens at the end. Oops, a little too far. You just have to go. Okay. To one coaching, which allows them to have that personalized support for their journey where they are, instead of, again, one size fits all answers to everything. So, so do you think that we've done a good job of at least illuminating the issues and possible ideas here, or do you want to throw some more on the pile before we close out for the day?
Well, you know what? It's 2:22 p.m. on 2/22/22.
Ooh, isn't that cool?
Do you think that maybe, I think we're good.
Okay, so I want to invite everybody to $1milliondollarfeeling.com to reach out to Marianne Houston, or if you want to talk to me about some other connections, let me know. And in the meantime, please go out into the world and be kind, be healthy, have fun, and live a great life. Whatever that means to you. $1 Million Feeling. Okay, so it looks like it's fitting already.
Yeah, I
So-
can't wait to see the interview. Or
Yeah, she's a really, really amazing person, and she actually has been an informal coach. She's not been making it a full-time thing. She actually has been doing some full-time per diem work in the dentistry industry, and she likes doing it. Otherwise, she would probably walk away from it much more quickly. But this part of her being doing coaching is something she's very good at. She knows what she's doing, but she's not doing it as a paid profession. You know, she'll take some money, but she's not doing that exclusively. So I will refine this later on. So I'm going to put a placard up here with one of her quotes, and then I'll put up another quote, and so we'll spread some of this stuff out. And as more and more of the shows are getting done, we'll find some more interesting stuff to put into the play end. Most people, once the music starts playing, will abandon. They'll be gone, which is, it's understandable. It's okay. But we'd like to put some value or entertainment in there as we're doing this part of the show. Now, whether or not when you and I are doing Dead Guys Talking, we want to add some elements, or just a few seconds of outro and then be done, make it real fast. Some of that I will leave up to your judgment, or our discussion, or whatever it is that you feel like that's going to be right. So in the scheme of things, there are things we can do to add value, even after the show is over, which could be how to connect with people, how to, maybe something that we talked about during the show that may point them to where that's could be found, or whatever the case may be. And I don't plan to be putting all that stuff up during the conversation. So
how to help people do the same thing.
So.
One step ahead.
Yep. So that's what we did not get to last time, and it's largely framed out. Although I will adjust it a little bit. So, and then I'll be uploading that to YouTube. It is kind of cool that the show ended exactly on Eastern time, 2:22 on 2022. So
2:22 and 22 seconds.
Oh, it might. Well, if I kept on talking, that ruined that one. So anyway, okay. So now that takes care of, that part. And then last time we talked, we showed some stuff on YouTube. Let's talk about the fact that YouTube also has, just for those who might be interested, YouTube also has, using their own platform, they have royalty-free, no cost music. Some of it's just a few seconds, so you can use it for an intro or an outro, whatever the case may be. And some of it I've actually already heard. Sometimes there are a couple of YouTube channels that I listen to, and I've already heard this intro music before that they had. So I was going, cool. And in fact, and I was kind of resentful at one of the songs because I realized that I could have used that song. If I didn't find what I found here, I could have used that song. So, but I'm very happy. I'm very happy with what I found for $1 Million Feeling. So
my son loves to watch these. I don't know. They're like kind of these invention type videos, where people make things out of like household appliances, but there's always this like, seems like there's always the same song. It's like this kind of techno kind of, I don't know, it makes you just like motivated, like really powerful like song. And now I think that's where that's coming from. So
Could be. I mean, if you want, I'll show you some of the songs that are out there. I don't know if
well,
you want to go digress in that direction or not.
not necessarily, but you did mention that excuse me, that there was an editing thing on YouTube too. Was that part
There
of
was,
it?
but it's a little bit on the limited side, and it's particularly useful though. Let's just say you put up, you've already taken a show, you've done this curation, you put the whole thing up, and then suddenly later on you realize there's something you need to take out.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need to take it out? Maybe you said something that wasn't appropriate. And I mean, maybe somebody's name, or I'm not suggesting we're a bunch of creepy guys. In fact, I assume that our conversations would never go that far, just because of how we show up already. So, but let's just say, and I already had this where I was,
With food falling off of our face.
there you go. Spit that food on the screen, that kind of thing. So I already had one of these where I'm one of my clients. I do some marketing and development, website development, and things like that, in a specific online platform that I use. We did a video with one of my clients, and I basically, in order to, because he kind of needs to be unscripted, he wants to just sort of speak it and be done. He doesn't want to write it out and read it, and that's good because it seems more him instead of being something he's reading.
Right.
But I had to like ask him the question to kind of feed his thing. So now I've got this recording which included pieces of me asking the question, and then the rest of it was him talking. Plus, at the end, there was this kind of goofy pause. Not anybody's fault, just the way it took that long to stop the recording. So, I had already uploaded it to YouTube. So what I did is I went and I did the trim of my part, and I did the trim on the tail end, and I saved the video again, and all it did was rework its magic on the video that was already posted. I did not have to re-upload it to do that.
That's
so
great.
There's some of that stuff in there. You can also do some things like splitting.
So it's afterthought editing.
Yeah, it's like almost like, oh gosh, and it could very well be like somebody could come along and say, you can't have that. That's mine. I might have said something that was copy protected or whatever. Okay, then I guess we'll have to trim that out. So that's kind of nice that YouTube gives you that, but it's not a full-blown editor. It's not like you're going to go in there and do like what I just did, where I'm inserting music, and you might be able to do that in part, but it's just not that rich and sophisticated so far, at least as I've seen this. Because if there was, if it was possible to do all of this in YouTube, I might consider doing everything in YouTube. But it's not that powerful.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's the other thing about Apple. I mean, getting this new computer, I can use the same program you're using.
Absolutely. And then the other one I downloaded also might be of value, because there may be eventually I'll have to pay a fee to use it to do certain things, but it's not even that big a fee. I did the price check on it. It's like under $40. So, and that one was really cool because it did reverse.
That's awesome.
And I can see places where that would be kind of fun, where like you had something where somebody says something, 10 seconds of brilliance, and you want to go, whoa, we got to hear that again. And then you just, then you play it again, so that the viewers don't have to listen to it, or move it back to listen to it again. We'll do it for them. We'll just rewind it and replay. So
that's cool.
So I can see places where you can do those kinds of things. And eventually in time, we'll do that, Okay. So other things so we were talking about equipment, and I just want to share. I mean, I did do a little video scan of my stuff where I have this, fairly sizable mixer, got my studio lights. Um, the studio lights I bought, I shared with you in a link. And maybe we should start showing people what go onto Amazon and show what I ordered and just why I ordered it and things like that. There are lots of choices though. It's not like I'm the person
Yeah.
with all the answers. I just happen to be doing, like, I thought this was a 3-set kit. Sometimes you get the studio lighting and they want you to change colors by changing like a plastic colored lens that goes in front of the white lights.
Oh no.
And I'm going, I don't want that. That's hokey. Like, I want to hit a button. I'm kind of, maybe it's not that I'm particularly lazy, but and it turns out that what I got was a whole lot more than I expected.
Well, so what you're saying is you did your research
Well, I did my
items.
Amazon checking.
That's what I mean.
And I actually had a problem with one of the 3 lights, and the maker of the lights is in China, which is not a surprise. And I messaged them, and they're in the middle of a major lockdown right now. So there's nobody at the factory to send me a replacement. But they told me they will send me another kit that comes back as a return from, which happens apparently enough. So I'm just waiting for a kit, and then keep the extra light.
Amazon will always hook you up too if you do it within 3 months.
Right. Well, and if push comes to shove, I will work with Amazon on this, but I feel like they've already stepped up so far. I'm just waiting for them to do their part, and I'm not suffering because the light may be malfunctioning, but it's still working in a way. So it's not like my 3 lighting studio effect that I wanted is completely falling apart. It's just I'm stuck on one color. So I can live for another day or so.
Well, and that's just it. I really wanted to get that equipment that I was like, I want to order that. I was like excited, but I was like, well, I'm getting this new computer. Maybe I should see let me see what this thing can do for me.
Yeah. And you said you're getting a microphone from your ex, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
for the time being, I'm going to borrow it until she needs it.
Right. And she probably will. I can actually see her doing a podcast. So
I know she's doing some sort of coaching, apparently. So
right.
I don't know.
Well, I should just message her one day and just say,
maybe
hey,
we can coach each other.
Yeah, go for it.
So tell me.
Yes, go for it.
What was it about your ex-husband that this is strictly professional?
Yeah. I once thought I knew so much about the work that I do as a hypnotherapist that I could actually work with my ex-wife and help her in her scenario. And that was just pure arrogance on my part. There's just too much.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah. And it's just like, we get along extremely well, and we have a 20-year-old daughter together, and we, and we communicate, and there is love there. It's not like there's acrimony and huge, deep resentment. And it's not like one of those, it was kind of like when we announced we were getting divorced, it was kind of like, okay, we're just adding to the adventure, like whatever that was. It's like, she posted a picture, her boyfriend got her some flowers. I'm going, looks like he's a keeper. Like, it's like,
yeah.
It's not one of those kinds of marriages or divorces that it's just ugly. I mean,
right.
Divorce is not pretty. So I'm not trying to put lipstick on this. I'm just saying,
right.
We don't have that, animosity. There's no jealousy. There's no, regrets. It's like we're moving forward and living our lives, and we are still in touch. We have a daughter together, and I imagine that there's always room for things to be even better. But I'm not sitting here going, oh my gosh, she did it again. I don't have
Yeah. In case anybody wants to know what I'm doing, I'm burning.
That's called Palo Santo, which is a aromatic wood from South America.
So nice.
It's beautiful.
God,
I brought a whole bunch back from Costa Rica and I can't find it.
oh no. How does that happen?
I'm a little bit in, I'm going to use the word flux and well, I'll just say chaos without getting too complicated about how my, my living situation is that I'm kind of jammed in here and stuff's a little bit less organized than I'd like it to be.
Oh, so
And that's getting taken care of as we speak, because some of the issues where I am now, I'm also, some of the space that I'm occupying still has materials from the previous user of the space. And that's supposed to be getting out of here in the next 15 to 30 days. So that'll
Okay.
make things a lot better. So
got you. All right, that works. When do we, oh wow, it's already 6:50.
yep. And you were needing to break away in the next 10 or 15 minutes, right?
No,
So
I think because I actually yeah, I mean let's just say maximum 7:15.
okay.
And so let's see. I'm just trying to think of. I really would like to maybe should we maybe make a YouTube page? Like,
So do you want to make one right now, or do you want to just take a look at what it takes to create a YouTube page?
well, I don't have the email yet, so we need that, don't we?
Well, you'll each, first of all, things just, I shouldn't even care about the history. This might be a waste of sharing this time with anybody, but each used to be when you created a channel, you couldn't rename it. That's recent. Somehow or other, between the time that happened, I first created the channel and I couldn't rename it. And now you now are allowed to rename your channel. So if you were calling it Buzzbox 123 and now you wanted to call it Buzzbox ABC, you can do that.
Well, here's the thing. I want to call the channel Authentic BS,
Yes.
and I thought Authentically Raw BS was kind of nice, but it's too much. It's too big. So I say Authentic BS, and
We have to make sure we grab that before we air this.
when this hits the zipper, do you hear that?
Minor, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so because I hear everything. It's like somebody. It's like I'm talking to my own ears.
Yep.
Let's see. So, but I can't get that Gmail. So what does that mean? Like, should I like get should I start a Gmail that's like Dustin Payne LLC or something, or?
Let's do this.
And should I share my screen, or I don't know.
I'm just taking a look at something here.
Okay. So the headphones you sent me on that link the second time are the ones that you have on your head right now, right?
No, but those are a USB wired version of the Bluetooth technology, and it's a different company, but it's something I've tested. It works decently. It's acoustics on these headsets. The microphone on these headsets gives you a little bit more of that voice you hear from a pilot, a little bit teenier, but at least it's clearer than it would be if you're trying to use the computer microphone. The Bluetooth one sounds actually pretty darn good, although it's not what I have here. So like this is going to be my preferred communications voice for every video I produce if I can. However, and maybe we could try it, switch it one more time. I could, fire it up one more time and we can compare
No,
it.
but they were like, I saw that the headphones that you sent me had like a cord.
Yeah,
So I
those are
thought-
USB pluggable. So they're comparable in earphone and microphone experience to the Bluetooth headset that I also first shared with you.
Okay, so but those headphones, I still need a microphone.
Nope, they both come with microphones.
Well, maybe I should buy a microphone too eventually.
Yeah, eventually, but bear in
So
mind.
should I even get those
just-
headphones?
Well, it's a placeholder for the time, because you're going to hear better with these too. But listen, I'm holding this up, right?
Well, I was going to get the ones that you sent me with the cord.
Okay,
I
but
thought-
it's the same concept, although it's going to have a cord on it. Is that you got a boom microphone with a fold-up arm, and it's binaural. Both sides will be playing in your ear.
Well, which one would you suggest? Getting the one with the headphones or getting?
If you
that
get a
USB?
multi-USB
with
port,
the
I
cord?
think the corded one will be better, because eventually, for example, this has a battery in it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So you could be in the
Okay.
middle of a conversation and you could have people like pointing, I can't hear you, and you have no idea what's going on because you don't realize it just died.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll get those ones. All right. Okay.
Although it might just tell you powering down, so at least you'll hear that.
Yeah. I
But-
mean, all
but-
my headphones that are like that do that. It's like
Right.
battery low.
Right. So Authentic BS was the email address we wanted to grab, right?
Well, it's not there for
How-
Gmail.
How dare it not be there?
I mean, we could do .b.s. That just doesn't. I'll just come up with something else. I mean, it doesn't have to be. Like I said, I could just come up with an email for my business.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably never going to get an email from somebody at that,
So we don't even. Do we need to even have we do have to have an email to start the YouTube channel, right?
That's correct.
I have an email that is like it's another Dustin Payne email that I've never used, but it's still my name. And you
It's
were
what-
suggesting,
It's whatever, like my things I've learned from the universe, my email address doesn't say that. It's a completely different email address. Like, I don't know if anybody ever is going to see that. I'm not even sure what the link up is, other than Google will know about it. So I'm now starting a whole new problem here, because I loaded up my I had to do a restore to my, forget it. What did I do?
I don't know.
I have a whole bunch of YouTube channels probably trying to play at once.
Maybe maybe I can find authentic bullshit at gmail.com.
Okay, well, but then you couldn't really use it if you wanted. Well, you could, I guess. But
No.
so
So why don't we just use my other email?
yeah, go ahead. You want to do it now or no? But no, let's. Okay. I'm gonna have a
Please.
whole boatload of videos trying to play while we're talking here. Because I just tried to do restore pages from a complex shutdown of Google Chrome. So anyway, and the reason why I was doing that is because I wanted to be able to see what I was doing, because I had the restore pages message stuck on the screen. Okay, so so yeah, go ahead and lean in on that. Okay, here we go. I'm going to mute for a second here. You just talk.
Maybe some. All right. So welcome to YouTube Studio. Close. Okay. Channel trailer for people who haven't subscribed. Feature video for returning subscribers.
For the time being, go to your branding up in the second layer. And then you can, later on, you'll grab a picture that works for you. Wouldn't worry about the watermark right now. go to places like Pixabay and get yourself a photo that kind of fits this framing. Unless you want your picture in there, you can have your fist in there if you want to, but let me just see.
So this picture here, okay, this picture here is not. Oh, but can I just close this somehow? What am I denying?
It's just asking if it's okay that I'm here. You can say,
Well, it's not letting me do okay. It says open system preferences.
Go ahead. This is Zoom. Okay, so
So this picture has nothing to do with this picture.
well, this picture has nothing necessarily to do with your channel. So
Good gravy. How do I get? All right.
this is on your platform. This is because you're on a Mac. So you can check Zoom right there. I don't know if you saw the choice.
Oh,
I think I
didn't
might
see
have
it.
checked. I might have successfully checked it. Hang on.
Okay. So do I create? No.
Okay, it's still not letting me take any control here. But so you can change the picture. You can actually have a banner image that goes across the top. I haven't done that yet. Largely
Where?
because
Here?
no, like the second one down. The first picture is picture of you or anything else you want to put there.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
The second thing is a banner where you have to design it in like a 2000 by 1100 pixel banner that would show up at the cross at the top of your page. And eventually I'll get around to doing that, but I haven't done it. It's not my highest priority. And then if you go to basic info, I think that's where we get a chance to name the channel. So see where it says Dustin Payne? That's where you
Yeah.
can change it to Authentic BS.
Is that right? Yep. How about that?
Yep. And then underneath in the description, you can do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it, and you can change it as many times as you want. So,
Okay.
and then right now your channel URL is that gobbledygook. So I think once you get to a certain number of subscribers, you can change the channel link to be Authentic BS or whatever the case may be. But right now that's it. You can't change it, but you can copy it. So if you want to share your channel with people, you can send them that link.
Now what about this?
So
Oh, no, I don't want people to.
yeah,
I already have to blur out that thing that popped up here when I went to close it out.
yeah, we'll get that blotted out of there. So just
Okay.
another fun thing to learn.
So create.
So you can just hit publish. And now you've got a channel called Authentic BS. And on this end, I'll do a search for it.
You want to go? Okay.
You published already?
I did.
Okay, stand by.
Authentic Bachelors of Science.
Now, what I don't know is how long it takes. Okay, let me just go to YouTube. No, you don't have any content yet, so nothing's showing up for that, but it should be published already.
Okay. And then we're going to have a series. Is it just going to be a playlist called Dead Guys Talking?
No, you'll do some curation on everything so that you can, for example, we could create like a placard or an image that can be your thumbnail, and you can have everything that we do as Dead Guys Talking will have that thumbnail.
Got it.
And then as you start doing your coaching and you're putting out coaching content, you'll use a different thumbnail and all like that. And you can have both things out there.
Yeah. And there's even another one I'm thinking of, but remember I was talking about like this other program I might want to do, but I just don't see how I can even squeeze that in right now. So I don't. Okay. So now over here is just my normal YouTube channel stuff, right? Or no.
Well,
This is all studio.
the playlists, for example, are things that you're recommending people watch.
Okay.
So
I
if you
don't
had
have
an
anything.
audience and they came in, they could say, well, what's Authentic BS's playlist? And they could hit that, and it could be,
Got
and it could even be your playlist. Like you could check your box for your playlist. So, and if you go and do a search, not on this channel, but if we go back to like
YouTube.
it's in general, and just do a search in there for things I've learned from the universe.
All the crazy things my son wants me to look up. How to make my own microwave.
Okay, for whatever, scroll down a little bit and see if, because it's taking words out of that.
Yeah.
Things that have more play so far than I do. So that's why it's.
There was that. No, that's not good. Oh, yeah. Not seeing anything yet.
Okay. It could be, since the show's called $1 Million Feeling, even though it's on that channel, if you put in $1 Million Feeling, it might. By the way, there's a song out there. So yeah, if you put in $1 Million Feeling, it pulls up shows.
I don't know why I had to type the whole thing.
So that guy Daryl Mansfield wrote a song called $1 Million Feeling. So scroll down a little bit. I'm not too far down.
There you are. I thought this wasn't published.
No, they're both published now. And
I
then if
thought
you
he
look
wanted
at
to read
things I've learned from the universe, is the actual channel. You can see it there. And so I have $1 Million Feeling, which is my personal transformation platform, and my podcast, my video cast. And then I have the Effective Way. I've got a catalog of material I'm building, and I'm starting to publish it. So in the Effective Way is my business consulting thing. So, and I'm as you heard before, and before we actually recorded here, you heard me, as developing heart-centered business to make more money. So, so anyway, if you look at that image there, that image is me grabbing the sun.
Okay.
So.
Was it hot? I've heard it's pretty hot.
No, because when you have power, it doesn't hurt.
Okay. Yeah. It's just what I've heard. I don't know.
So
it's a lot smaller than
the sun. Yes. They tell you it's big, but it's not that big.
Okay. It's growing. It's growing. All right, cool. All right. Okay. I want to give you back the screen.
So, so we're done. I mean, for the night. So,
okay, cool.
Are we doing our next session on time on Sunday, or?
Yeah. It should be. Let me start saying. Like, I noticed like our second talk. The third talk was kind of like, hey, this is what we're doing. But the second talk was like, all right, we're done. We didn't say like goodbye to our incredible audience out there.
Right. Well,
and I really hope I didn't like offend anybody with my eating.
It did not offend me, but that's probably because I would have done the exact same thing. So,
There's probably people out there that just can't
oh no,
Can't
there are
watch
people who have
people
circled
eat.
through my life where they just like, they can't handle extra noises. They can't handle, you know, but that's on them.
Hey, this is as real as it gets.
Yeah. And we're putting something together on the fly at pretty rapid pace while we're doing all the other things we have to do in life. And
Child rearing.
yeah, parenting, you know, growing up. I think that's what Dead Men Talking should be all about, is just growing up.
Yeah.
So, okay. So thank you everybody for watching what we just did. We'll have more coming up, and please, in the meantime, go out and have a great day. Thank you.
Peace.